It was a quiet afternoon in rural Pennsylvania, where the gentle hum of daily life usually fills the air and neighbors greet each other by name. The rolling hills and peaceful fields of York County seemed untouched by the troubles of the world. But this sense of calm was shattered by sudden, unimaginable violence this week, sending shockwaves through the entire community. On September 17, 2025, tragedy struck in North Codorus Township, York County, when a shooting unfolded at a quiet farmhouse, drawing a massive emergency response. What began as a routine law enforcement action, something officers train for and carry out regularly, quickly escalated into one of the deadliest days in Pennsylvania law enforcement history. Officers arrived to serve an arrest warrant, expecting a standard procedure, but were met with unexpected and deadly force from the suspect inside the home. In the chaos that followed, 3 dedicated police detectives lost their lives in the line of duty, making the ultimate sacrifice to protect their community. 2 other officers were critically wounded, their lives forever changed in a matter of moments as paramedics rushed to save them. The suspect, who initiated the violence, was also killed during the intense confrontation, bringing a tragic end to the standoff. The impact of this event is immeasurable, a profound loss not only for the families of the fallen officers, but for the entire York County community, who now mourn together. The injured officers remain in critical but stable condition, beginning what will be a long and difficult road to recovery, supported by their loved ones and colleagues. September 17th will forever be etched into York County's history as a day of heartbreak, sacrifice, and unity in the face of unspeakable tragedy. The tragic confrontation that would ultimately end in loss of life began with a series of deeply troubling events, each one escalating the sense of urgency and fear in the community. It was a night marked by tension and uncertainty, prompting a swift response from local law enforcement. Officers arrived at the remote farmhouse with a clear mission: to arrest Matthew Ruth, who was facing serious charges of stalking and trespassing. Their presence was not just routine. It was a direct response to a growing threat that had shaken those living at the property. Ruth's ex-girlfriend and her mother, both residents of the farmhouse, had reached out to authorities after enduring weeks of intimidation and fear. They described a pattern of threatening behavior that left them feeling unsafe in their own home. The night before the police arrived, Ruth was reportedly seen lurking outside the house, dressed in camouflage and watching the women from the shadows. His actions were deliberate and menacing, heightening the sense of danger. The ex-girlfriend also suspected Ruth of setting her truck on fire just a month earlier, a terrifying incident that left her shaken and convinced that the threat was real and escalating. These alarming reports and mounting evidence led authorities to issue a warrant for Ruth's arrest, hoping to intervene before the situation spiraled further out of control and to protect those at risk. The officers were acting not only on behalf of the victims, but for the safety of the entire community, a fundamental responsibility of law enforcement in the face of clear and present danger. As the situation unfolded, it became increasingly volatile. The warning signs were unmistakable, and the risk of violence was ever present, putting everyone involved on edge. Despite the officers' best efforts and the precautions taken, no one could have fully anticipated the tragic violence that would soon erupt, forever altering the lives of all those involved. The law enforcement team's arrival at the farmhouse was met with violence. As they approached, they were ambushed by Matthew Ruth. Armed with a high-powered rifle, Ruth opened fire, creating chaos. 3 detectives were fatally wounded, and 2 officers were critically injured. Ruth was killed during the firefight, ending the confrontation. The officers who lost their lives were dedicated public servants. The surviving officers are fighting for recovery, a reminder of the violence's scars. The incident underscores the grave dangers law enforcement faces daily. The response to the shooting was swift and sorrowful, echoing across Pennsylvania. Governor Josh Shapiro described it as a tragic day for the Commonwealth. Flags were lowered to half-staff in tribute to the fallen officers. Local officials expressed profound grief and shock. Vigils and memorials were organized by residents to mourn and support each other. The community, unaccustomed to such violence, is grappling with the aftermath. Flowers and notes at police stations highlight the bond between the community and law enforcement. The focus now turns to supporting the families and officers affected by this tragedy. This incident is not isolated in the history of violence against law enforcement. Across the nation, Officers have faced similar dangers, and each tragedy leaves a lasting mark on the communities they serve. The pain and shock ripple far beyond the immediate scene, touching families, colleagues, and citizens alike. It recalls other deadly attacks on officers in recent years, moments that have shaken entire towns and brought people together in mourning. These somber processions and memorials are reminders of the ultimate price paid by those who protect and serve. The ambush in York County marks one of Pennsylvania's darkest days for law enforcement, a day that will be remembered for its tragedy and the bravery shown in the face of danger. The courthouse and police stations now stand as silent witnesses to the loss endured. Each incident reinforces the risks and courage required in police work. Officers must remain vigilant, supporting one another as they confront unpredictable threats. Their commitment to public safety is tested daily, yet they continue to serve with unwavering resolve. The community and state are beginning the healing process, coming together to honor the fallen and support those left behind. Vigils and memorials offer a space for shared grief and remembrance, helping to mend hearts and strengthen bonds. Fundraisers and mental health resources are being established for those affected, ensuring that families and first responders receive the care and support they need. These efforts reflect a collective determination to move forward, even in the face of profound loss. Leaders call for mourning and reflection, urging unity and support. They emphasize the importance of standing together, not only to honor the fallen but also to build a safer future for all. This event will spark conversations about officer safety and dealing with volatile situations. Departments are reviewing protocols and investing in new training, determined to prevent future tragedies and protect those who serve. Pennsylvania stands united in grief, honoring the sacrifice of its fallen heroes. In the face of adversity, the spirit of resilience and solidarity shines through, lighting a path forward for the entire community.